So we're back with day 3. So we've done our straight arm workout, our bent arm workout. Today is all about training your legs. I'm going to show you that you can train your legs and get a good workout without any weight at all, except your own body weight, of course. So let's start lying on the floor. So you're just going to find a nice comfortable space. Avoid lying on the cat. So you're going to find a nice space and you're just going to take a few deep breaths. So we're inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our nose. As you inhale, think about expanding your abdomen, not just up, but also to the sides. We're going to warm up our hips, so we're going to start in our 90-90 position. So for those who are familiar with this one, this is where your front leg is at 90 degrees and your back leg is at a 90-degree angle too. So we're going to start in this position. From here, you're going to try and keep this front leg down as you pull your back leg open. Keep working to keep this one down. Pulling this open as far as you can. This is where we go through our Sharon Stone position. So this knee is still pulling down to the floor. Okay, once you can keep that down no longer, bring it off, but still try and stay as wide, coming back to the other side. So if you can do this without hands, go ahead. So keeping this knee down, we're opening as much as possible. And coming over. Let's do a few more. It doesn't take a lot of these to get your hips nice and warm. A couple more. Remember, when you're doing your own warm-up, take as long as you need. If you feel like your hip needs a little more work, you can go ahead, spend a little more time on that warm-up. So we're going to move on to our next hip warm-up exercise, and that's going to be our hip cart, or hip circles, on our hands and knees. So for this one, you're going to start on your hands and knees. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. From this position, you're going to lift your knee out to the side. So that's the typical dog peeing up a lamppost position. So we're going to lift to the side. You're going to keep your knee high as you rotate. Bring your leg around, coming back down. So we come out, rotate, round, down. And we'll reverse, go in the other direction. So we lift our leg up, come around, and back to the start. Lifting up, around, and down. Let's do the other side. So up. You might find one hip or both hips are clicky. That's okay. If there's pain, try making that movement smaller so there's not pain. But clicking is okay. Hopefully the more times you do this, the more that clicking goes away. Let's go the other direction. You guys can hear that on camera. That's Poppy going crazy, just out of camera range. It says, if I'm not getting paid for this, I'm not doing it on camera. So sorry, I tried. We're gonna do an ankle stretch. So you're gonna bring one foot up, you're gonna line up your knee over your toes, and we're just gonna stretch, keeping your heel down. Feel that stretch through your ankle. And then we're gonna bring our knee forward, okay, getting that stretch for our foot. Then we're gonna drive our heel back down to this position. If this is uncomfortable for your knee, you could also do this seated. I don't know if this is high enough, but you can sit in a position like this and get stretch over that leg. Okay, so you can do that as a variation if it's an issue for that knee. So if not, drive your heel down, feel that nice stretch through your ankle. Good, and switching sides. So first of all, getting that good stretch. Bring your knee forward, getting a stretch through your toes and through your feet, and coming back. This is great if you're planning to do squats. Just warm up all that stuff, your ankle and your feet. Excellent. So that's our warm up. So we're gonna get started with our first circuit. And it's a superset, 2 exercises back to back. The first one is glute bridges. So for this one, you're either gonna do a 2-leg variation or a 1-leg variation. What I want you to think about is maintaining a nice position with your body. I like to think about keeping that ribs down, keeping my back so it's not too much of an arch as I lift up. I'm really feeling that in my glutes. So the regular position, ribs down, feeling that, pushing my hips up, but I'm not letting myself arch. Okay, holding that position and just trying to get that hip extension. Okay, so we can do with 2 legs, or we can bring 1 leg up. And you'll find a lot more work on one side when you're doing 1 leg. So we're going to do 10 each leg, or you're going to do 20 reps if you're doing the 2-leg variation. Okay, if you're not able to keep that position, or if your hips are all twisty, go back to the 2 legs. So once you've done 10, switching sides. I like to think about my quads staying parallel to each other. So I'm not bringing this leg up here or letting it drop. Keeping that in that alignment. We're going to superset this with a side plank exercise. So not only is this great for our core, also great for our legs, because we're going to add in a little bonus leg lift here. So set up for the side plank. I want you to think about your elbow under your shoulder, and I want you to think about pushing down into the floor so we're not going to get a sore shoulder. So we're pushing down into the floor. Squeeze your butt. Push down, lift up. Okay? Your arm up to the side. From here, we're going to lift our leg. Now I'm not rotating to turn my knee. My knee stays facing forward. I'm just going to lift using this muscle here. So this one can be pretty challenging. So you're going to do 10. So if you can do that, keep going. For those of you who might be feeling that a little bit in your shoulder, you can do this lying down and just do the leg raises here. as a variation. Okay, if you can get up and that feels fine, but you're a little unstable for the leg raise, then you can also just hold this position. Okay, but if you're able, see if you can do 10 reps of the side plank with the leg raise. So let's switching sides. So again, shoulder, elbow under your shoulder, take that hand out, push down with that, lifting up. Okay, you want to be as stacked as you can, and then you're going to lift this leg 10 times. Remember to breathe. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of that circuit. So back to the glute bridges, 10 each side, or 20 with your legs together. And side plank. And leg raise. Some people do find it easier on the shoulder to go up on the full arm. So if that feels better for you, go ahead. Switching sides. There's optional belly rubs here. It's important to always have optional belly rubs in a side plank. And back to your final set, glute bridges. Switching sides. Last exercise, we're going to do the side plank. Switching side, last one. Awesome. So that's circuit 1. We're going to move on to circuit 2 now. There's 2 exercises in this circuit. It's going to be Lego squats. I'll show that in a second. So 10 reps each leg, and then calf raises with a toe lift. So 20 reps of that. So the Lego squats, for this one, you're going to step back. You're coming down and sitting to this position. You can either tuck your toes under, come all the way down to the floor, or keep your toes in this position to help you get back up. So you're coming up You're going to alternate, go to the other side. So coming down and back up. Your body stays upright. You can tuck your toes right under, which is what I prefer to do. Sitting down and back up. So we're doing 10 each side. Can be balance, can be a challenge in this one. So feel free to go nice and slow. If you do have some option to do this weighted, you absolutely could do that. Okay, so you come down and up. I'm a bit surprised Poppy didn't swap me in the face. She's not usually one who likes to be carried. Okay, absolutely no idea how many I've done there. So moving on to the calf raises, I'm actually going to use the shelf just to help a little bit with balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the outside edges of my feet are parallel in a straight line. Squeezing my butt, I'm going to push down, making sure that my weight is in my big toes. So I'm not rolling out to the side, really pushing evenly, keeping my ankles straight. Coming down, I'm going to pull my toes off the floor, then I'm going to pull my feet towards my shins. So pushing down, coming up, down, and I'm just using this shelf here for balance. As I do my calf raises, alternating with a toe lift. As I do that toe lift, I'm trying not to let that be a rock backwards, making it an actual. If you can't lift, try lifting one foot at a time. Okay, if you're not able to lift without that rock backwards. I think I have a little bit of the rock backwards. So I'm going to just do one at a time here. Again, if you have a pet or a small child that doesn't mind being carried, feel free, grab a little weight. You could also grab a bag of rice, bag of dried beans. Okay, again, no idea how many I did there. So we're going back to the Lego squats. So we're going to do another 10 reps of the Lego squats, up and down. If you're someone like me who really lacks the ability to focus on the exercise and count at the same time, you can use time. So you can say, I'm going to do a minute of the Lego squats, and then I'm going to do a minute of calf raises. So I do that a lot in my training. Or you can find a way to kind of track the number of reps, such as you can use counters, tools, poker chips, something like that, to say, hey, that's one. Doesn't quite work for things like this. It's more, that works better for counting rounds of circuits, but have someone else count for you. Let's go calf raises. So remember, with the calf raises, you're pushing down, keeping the weight on your big toe so your ankles don't roll out. And then you can either lift both feet together or one at a time. With the focus on trying not to lean back there. So one more round of legless squats, 10 reps per leg, calf raises, 20 reps. I'm gonna let you push pause and do that set by yourself. Make sure you do it, Mom. And then we'll move on to the finisher. Okay, so our finisher, we're gonna do bodyweight squats. And we're gonna do 50 reps without resting. If you wanna grab a pet or child, go ahead. I don't think Chester's gonna let me hold her for very long. For this one, think about your knees going over your toes, keeping your body upright as much as you can, and just bend down as far as is comfortable for you. Yeah, Chester isn't really into that. So I like to think about sitting down between my knees. Okay, so I'm not letting my knees come in. And we're going 50 reps. Okay, doesn't sound like a lot. So I think that's 10. Completely lost count. I'm going to say that's 40. Shake it out. So that was my leg routine. Hopefully you realize you can get a good workout without any gym equipment or weights, just using your own body weight in your own living room. So you now have a straight arm workout, a bent arm workout, and today we have our legs workout. So that covers everything that you're gonna need for your week's workouts. So all this stuff you can do at home with no equipment, and the cats are totally optional, preferably not there in some cases. So you're all set. Enjoy. High five. Yeah.